We are live.
Hi, welcome to the Self Help Bookshelf, the High Leverage Actions podcast, and to 2026. We are back with another New Year's episode. So, yes, we are so thrilled to be here. And on top of all of that, today is the High Leverage Actions podcast first birthday. And I haven't got a cake or a candle because I'm in the middle of moving house. But hence I've got empty bookcase behind me today. So, no, thank you for joining me again today, Rory. And this is awesome that we've been doing this for a whole year. Although we've missed a few along the way, we're still here.
Yes, yes, yes. And if you're here, say hello on the comments, or if you get any kind of insights and it lands in your brain and you share it back, it's going to bring and recreate and neurocreate um all the insights and learnings, typing, speaking, reiterating is all part of growth and remembering what we do want to remember. And so, yes, liking, sharing, subscribing, all those wonderful things. Let's go with looking forwards. What's important about that? Okay.
Wow, looking forward. Well, this is following on from the episode that we did 2 weeks ago, just before Christmas, where we talked about the power of reflecting. So it was all about looking back and avoiding ruminating and taking positive lessons to fail forward and learn from the past and reflect on all the things that work. So we looked at a great deal about the power of looking back and how that can help us to grow and plan and strategize for 2026. So today we decided this would be a fantastic topic to flip that through the mirror and talk about the power of looking forward. So this is the bit about planning and strategy and goal setting and visions and a lot of things that we've already talked about throughout 2025, but with a real purpose today. And that's going to include some plans at some point that we have too. So, what is exciting for you and what are you planning for 2026, Rory?
Oh my gosh. There's and I look at looking forwards. There's often this urge to just go, what am I going to do in the next few hours?
That's
And
good.
and
Sometimes
yeah,
it's perfect.
and it's always it's great, but we can get caught up in that so much that we're just worrying about the next thing, what the next few day or the day will be like in order to make like everything happen that I want to happen in my life. And so there's these I break it down very simply into what what does how will the day become a masterpiece? And what does a masterpiece mean? Because every day we get to reset, refresh with sleep, and it starts a new day. Um, and that actually really is part of our neurocreativity, um our actual cognition
Mm.
tires out to a point where the sleep process is a physical defragmentation on what's happened to go from working memory in the moment to short-term memory uh, of things that are important, and that will build up to the point where we will just become delirious if we don't sleep or rest, because it just fills up and can't take anything further. And then beyond that, it goes into long-term memory, and then like the longest term memories, the things that make a massive difference in our lives, then how they're stored is through our emotions, and what we perceive as important, how we feel they're important. So all of those things that we're doing, if we're emotionally charging in upset for getting stuff done, then that becomes a memory in itself, and that whole thing of worrying about what to do each day becomes a habit. worrying becomes a habit. Um, so when we get to these points in the years and the years turn over, it's no surprise that there's an actual tradition in looking backwards, looking forwards, a sort of
Mm.
refreshment of that time, because in the year, the month, the project, the day, they've all got these significant moments of stopping, relaxing, letting go. And so that daily cycle to sleep is one thing. Then there's like the project cycles, but also so to look at what those projects mean and are, and whether they're short-term things that build to a longer-term project, and the longer-term projects. So it's really looking at those year-long goals for me is it's less. I've done less planning this time round, although
Okay.
I'm going to be doing a workshop on the 13th to really go into that further, because often this sort of like trying too hard to do that all in one go before the year starts, before all these other things start. But actually, I'm taking much more of my power word for this year is freedom. It was contribution last year.
All right.
I think we talked about that last time as well. So contribution was to really build on contributing, giving idea, developing ideas and developing how they will contribute, and being really present to everything that I was putting together was about what am I doing to contribute to the world and neurodivergent creatives and my business and those around me and all that sort of stuff. And this time it was like the freedom to put the boat, kick the boat out. It's all been designed. So I go around in a long way round of saying it, but my point being is that the goals are still the same as last year, but the intention and what I know is possible is completely different around those.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
so they're going to be like defined, redefined, and repopulated with uh um how do I put it?
New
So
value.
yeah, so my course
Mm.
that I created, that's going to be redone at another level, and I'm going to have work with like longer term clients for longer than just the shorter ones, because I've had better results with the ones before, and so instead of going, hey, 3 months, this is what happens in 3 months, but this is what will happen in 6 months or a year, and when we look at the whole year and work with well, like my goal for myself in the whole year is going to reflect on what other people get to create in a whole year. Like
Wow.
we're going to disclose in at the end of this podcast as a little
Oh.
surprise. But you see what I'm saying, because as you know now, Kay. But that's what we'll share later. But the point being is that the goals have got a bit stronger and a bit longer. So I want to do
Yeah.
in-person events. I'm going to be doing in-person events. I'm going to do more refined workshops that are with much more clarity, much more breakthroughs for people, longer term stuff, bigger stuff. So in-person events, online workshops, and um, just my own routine and clarity of routine is all just going to get stronger and more profound. Like the foundations was last year. Now it's like I'm actually starting to put the building blocks in place that I can actually see it all happen, rather than it just being like theory and blueprints all around me.
Mm. That's awesome. Yeah. That's fantastic. And it sounds like you've got this plan, but at the moment it's just a mental plan. And you're going to just trust the process that it falls into place along the way by the sounds of it. But in
Because
your
of
head
yeah,
and your heart, you know, and it's like standing on a road and going, I know this year I'm going to travel that road. I just don't know how far I'm going to get, and wherever I get to, I'm going to be happy. And not setting a goalpost where you're going to be like, oh, well, if I fall short, I'm going to be disappointed. But if you overshoot what you kind of mentally expect, it's still offset. So it's just appreciating where you get to on that journey, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
it's pretty much how I was last year. I knew what I wanted to achieve, but I didn't know how far I was going to get. And I didn't really set goals posts. I just set the vision to kind of work towards. And I did find by the end of the year, it's all pretty much all fallen into place. So I'm the same. I'm going to be doing a lot more workshops online this year. I've already got people booking on them. I've no idea who they are. So if you're watching and you've booked on a workshop, I am looking forward to meeting you. I really am. And they're all on Eventbrite. So, or they will be going on Eventbrite. They're not all on there yet. I haven't planned many in-person ones yet because I'm in the process of moving. So I've got to kind of readapt to my new surroundings and find everything again after it's been packed in boxes. It's great fun when you're ADHD and you get used to where you put your phone, where you put your keys, where you put your glasses. And then when you start packing boxes and you move around the house, you start putting them in different places without realizing it and you lose them before you've even moved. So when I get to my new house, I've got to get used to the natural drop zones. So I've just got at the moment have this real vision of how I'm going to function in my new home and the garden. And that's another one for me looking forward. I have already made a list of about 30 herbs and vegetables that I want to grow in my new garden. I'm not worried about the flowers because they'll all have flowers anyway. And so I'm going to have lots and lots of herbs to eat healthy, growing in my new garden, lots of patio pots as well. So what else am I looking forward to? I've got right. I've been looking forward to doing this for ages, and with all hold-ups I've had with family, because my son's moved, my daughter's moved, now I'm moving. It's been a bit chaotic. I was meant to have spent Christmas to New Year. That was meant to be my week off, not my week moving houses, but my week off writing the adult version of Brain Unchained. So that's now moving the goalpost into the new year. The one goalpost I had is now moving, and I'm looking forward to doing that from my new office where it's going to be more peaceful, more organized, more isolated from my living space. So yeah, I'll have a view of my garden from there as well instead of 2 floors up. So I've got lots of things I'm looking forward to this year. Continuing with the podcast, but with some changes. We're looking at doing some changes within the self-help bookshelf. But Rory, myself, and Sue are all going to have a couple of meetings and wrap our head around some new shared ideas. And we're going to see what we can do again to reformulate and bring out something even better. And I'll let Rory tell you more about some ideas in a bit, but we're going to reformulate how we run the self-help bookshelf for the second year. But we wanted to come and wrap this one up first, the two of us, as we've done it all year. From that initial concept back in January, we said, because it was in January, in fact, it was the 5th of January, we said, we should start a new podcast. And on the 6th, we recorded the first episode. So today really is the first birthday of the High Leverage Actions podcast. And honestly, thank you massively. My gratitude for being a huge part of this with me this year. Because my other podcast I do on my own, as much as I can talk a lot, the one I do on my own, I kind of burn out when I talk solo. So it's been amazing having the conversation and the way we backwards and forwards and banter through all these topics goes quite deep, quite meaningful, quite light-hearted as well. And yeah, I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed every single conversation. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice one, Kay. I'm very, very happy with the sense of ease it's been, even with
Yeah.
the deep conversations and um one of the things that I started to put into practice a year ago at least was that sense of ease and flow, just to know what I need to know when I need to know it, when it happens, and not have to think about anything. And actually, that's really helped that side of the ADHD style brain to not worry about it and just go, oh, I want to get that done, but I don't have to think about it at all, because I know that I've just thought about it. And when that comes up, I'll know what to say when I need to say it then. Or, and it was before that it was like disheveling and deshoveling and removing uh stuff that I didn't need to focus on up until that point too. So everything that I was doing last year was all regimented in the diary. So I was getting used to being in structure, but loose
Mm,
fluid, as I call like fluid planning. And so that it would, if one thing would move, it would move around. It didn't matter. I would still get stuff done and everything would happen. And I wouldn't have to be thinking about anything I didn't need to think about. So so that was great. That was really great to be able to do that with the podcast, just to know that there was you were there to you know just be part of that structure that just made it happen, and it's been great to hear back when people have wanted to watch and listen and
mm,
it's just been really great to notice the level of content that's come out and the ease of it being able to come out. Yeah, and that's exciting to share again. That what we're going to come up with for
mm.
2026. And so, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And I think, when we're talking about the power of looking forward, we've just shared a lot of what we're looking forward to. But when we take that concept of looking back and looking forward, it's allowing your mind to find the positive, to find the hope, to find the dreams, to find the visions, and allow them to sink into your heart and to guide you, however gently or however powerfully it works for you, is to allow those thoughts and feelings to just guide you forward. And if you find yourself looking at all the negatives, like, I can't do this, and I always get stuck on that, and I don't know how to do that, and nobody helps me, and I haven't got the money to do it. But if you find yourself stuck on all of those, or why do it? Because that always happens to me, and I know what the outcome's going to be, and you want a different outcome. These are all the reasons to go back and watch all the previous episodes of this podcast and join us in the Facebook group in the Self-Help Bookshelf. And most importantly, reach out to us. Join one of our courses. So whether it is the emotional awareness on Eventbrite from mine, whether you're joining one of Rory's planning workshops, which would be a great one for this year, if you're ready to plan, but you're a little bit unsure how to, Rory's got a great workshop coming up, and I'm going to be on there as well. And I need to do my power words for this year, Rory. And actually, I just wrote 3 down as you were talking about yours. And I'm thinking about, but I might change it a little. Openness. So I'm not being so guarded this year. I'm being a little bit more open with people. Flow. So that I've spent a lot of time last year structuring and creating structure, because everything I had was too unstructured and I didn't know what I was doing with it. But now I've got all my products and services in packages and ways that I know how to deliver them, as if I can like grab them off the shelf. Even though they're talking services, I feel like they're ready to go in little packages. I feel like I can now take those packages and flow with them. And the other one I want to look at is still structure, but more structure in how I connect with my audience rather than how I structure my products. So I want to take the structure into a different area of the business. So I've got things I'm looking forward to. So this is where the looking forward can help us to go, okay, this is what I've achieved, looking back. What do I want to do to shift that this next year? What do I want to do to shift that in my personal life? Which for me is the moving is going to be a huge part of it. And it's going to give me so much more freedom to be able to open a door to fresh air, which I can't hear. I don't have a door that opens to fresh air. Being able to go and sit in the garden, grow my own herbs again, because I'll have a garden again. Being able to go, and the other one I'm looking forward to, Rory, is being able to get my books out to the car, because I'll be ground floor. And at the moment, I can't carry them down the stairs easily. And if I do, I certainly can't carry them back up the stairs easily because of my back pain. So I'm looking forward to getting booked to and from a car on ground level and going to events more. Because when I couldn't get help this last year, I had to cancel all the events I'd planned. So I'm really looking forward to so many things this year, Rory. It is really exciting. And my daughter's in a new house away from all the problems she's had the last few years. So I'm looking forward to seeing them grow into their new home. The children running free in the garden just looks amazing. They look free compared to in their old place. And even my son, he's just changed so much the last couple of months since he's been single again. And he's got a sense of emotional freedom that I've not seen in him for a long time. So I've got so many reasons to be excited about 2026, as well as meeting new clients, helping people, because that's what it's about, helping people. This is not about the money as much as money is. We need money. We're running a business, we need money. Um, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how many people I can reach out to with my business this year and how many people I can connect with and collaborate with as well. But we still have our collaboration going. Rory was my first collaborative business partner that I met, my first network meeting online, and here we are still going strong. You are awesome. You really are. Thank you. Thank you for putting up with all my ways this last year as well, including memories like the crocodile moment where I started to get quite snappy trying to get Zoom to work one day. I was like,
Oh yes. Oh, all good. All good.
got through it. We did
It's
it.
what you I really like what you said about power words because obviously I brought that up, but at the same time, what the pattern I noticed you shared there, I think this might be useful for anyone else who wants to realize what power words actually are. They help us look forwards
Mm.
from an intention to connect to how we feel about what we want to create, looking forwards to be there with that sense of intention. Intention is I like to describe the idea of intention can be superficial or it can be this deep visionary intention. And superficial intention is always almost like I intended to do that, but I didn't. And or
Mm.
I intended to do this. Well, oh, sorry, I intended or either to myself, saying to the self, or to other people. Is that pattern coming up a lot? I noticed that a lot with others when in their conversations years and years ago, and people would say, I keep intending to do this and I haven't done it yet, or whatever it is. And so that in itself is a self-fulfilling, superficial intention, prophecy. And to be in superficial intention, it's the word tension is there.
Yes.
The word intention is there. So does it feel tense to intend to do something and then it not happen? And so when we look forwards around all of that, the tension piece is this built up perception of stress or self-doubt or the lack of being in tension with that thing that wants to be done or created or goal or all of those things. And so when we look forwards, we can either look forwards knowing that it's possible if we focus on something over and over and over and over again, it's going to get stronger. And what is it that gets to be let go of to create that? So that idea of it to be intention with it as a positive challenge, a positive feeling that it is going to be a challenge. It's going to be difficult to stick to it, but it's being true to the self. So the reason why I'm saying all that is this intention, the way why freedom is one of my highest values is on one of my cards. I picked it in that moment and it felt right to do. I did it on New Year's Day.
All
I just
right.
I pulled it out and it said and I just thought, yeah, that's the one. So, I've got ones here again as well. And I just wanted to, as anyone that's listening now that wants a power word, just think about as you think about what the things you've said you've intended to do that were superficial that didn't happen,
Mm.
How
like
did
my
you feel? How did you feel about it, or what was it that was happening? What words would you describe yourself or that pattern to be? And taking that time to actually be present to it without judgment around it. Like, and I'm saying it as a description one for UK because you actually gave the clue to it. You said you want to be more open because you felt like you were more guarded
mm,
before. So there's this sort of, it's actually the duality of things. It really, really helps
yeah,
to
it's a good
to shift
point.
things. So to notice that you were more guarded, why was being guarded a thing that you don't want to do? Because for some reason, for some people, being more guarded might be really useful for them because they were too open open to too many people in the past and too open. So it's really, I'm just throwing out ideas here for this moment to just, if anyone's listening, to want to go, okay, I want a really, even just one power word. You can have, three's a good amount, but one for the year. What was last year? If you didn't have a power word for last year that was good, maybe you can use what was not so good about last year and convert that into a power word for next year. So if what was the, without judgment, what was the last year? Not, I'm not asking you, Kay, as such, but you could play around with this if you wanted to. Um, what was last year like that felt more sticky or more tricky or that wants to be shifted to a new thing that would help it not repeat again? And so if there was a word that came up for you, that's one way. You can declare it if you want or not. But I'm also gonna just pull a card as well to see what happens.
Yeah, it's really good. Why are you pulling your card? I know one of my first power word last year was confidence because it was quite early in the rebuild of my business. The confidence was the one I felt I had to rebuild over the year. And there were times when I felt it lag a bit, and just having that power word pulled me through that every time. And it was just a reminder that, like, I've already done it. I've had that confidence. I've had this success. I've made that achievement. I can do it again. And going back into that mode of confidence, in a sense, in itself, then gave me the sense of freedom to create the progress and keep going. So this the power words beautiful. They really do work. And having the three I had, confidence, focused, because that was overcoming the mental scatter, and powerful, was like reminding myself what I can achieve when I put the motion into it. It was amazing having those, Rory. And I'm looking forward to having a session where I can double check on my power words for this next year.
Brilliant. Awesome. Okay.
So don't
Excellent.
forget, if anybody else doesn't know how to get your power words, contact Rory for a session because he helps you talk through this through his somatic healing, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing
Yeah.
um, to help
Great.
draw them out from the subconscious.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So yeah, I'm gonna not look. I'm gonna pick one now just for fun to go. It's joy.
Hey,
Joy, to
and
provide joy, to share joy. And so that's
that's what I want the openness for, to be able to share the joy instead of focusing on what I'm creating. That is what I want to do. Is that openness is really like welcome to 2026, not just oh it's 2026. I want to just feel more open this year.
fantastic. Amazing. Well, so yeah, for me, it's creating freedom. For you, have you got an overall 2026 word? Okay.
Um,
Did you say? I can't remember.
I think that openness for me is going to be a big one at the moment. But I really could do. I hadn't thought about it much. I could do with really sitting down and planning over these. But to me, that openness is open for business, open for conversation, open for fun. And I think the word open is going to be a big word for me this year
Amazing.
in taking away barriers, helping me to remove barriers along the way. If a barrier is in the way, we've got to open the barriers. So, yep,
Amazing.
open to 2026.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Awesome. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, then. So, anyone listening, what have you got from this? If there's any word that you noticed was the more sticky and you want to change, is there any words? You can put them in the comments, and or you've already got an idea of what that flip side word would be that gives you the power to overcome that by being it, by saying it, by sharing it. Then share that in the comments too. And yeah, exciting times.
Fantastic. Now, I believe you've got some more news for us or some more ideas, Rory.
Yes.
And you've been
Okay.
sitting there itching to tell us this one, haven't you?
Oh yes.
Thank
It
you.
came to it came to me through our discussion last time around how much we've content we created between us by just speaking over and over and over again, how many episodes there were. And I realized that the technology that I was struggling with or didn't know I needed for years is kind of coming about at these times to be able to actually disseminate or collate and help to actually get um
Repurpose, isn't it? Is the collective word, I think, to use all the different skills and tools and strategies to repurpose those episodes in
yeah
different ways. And I love
yeah
that. It's like so we are not going to let all this year go to waste and just vanish in the like algorithms of YouTube. We're going to repurpose them, and I'll let you continue saying how.
yeah yeah so we've decided to um place a 2 month hold on going live. uh we could potentially do a short like little announcements just to keep the algorithms going, but not necessarily. We're not going to do a whole podcast. We're not going to start creating more content because we've got so much that we want to share and repurpose and bring back that we're going to relaunch the podcast in 2 months' time with a books creation celebration between us based on all of the content we've created together and discussed that is going to help everyone that relates to the types of people that we are or who we help and or who we help. We're going to create a whole an amazing self-help bookshelf um, founding uh, resource.
Yes. So we can turn all of those conversations into a collaborative book of conversations where we can tidy up the communication as well, take out all the bits that are irrelevant, timed out, but just take that key conversation and all the really important parts and make them into topics throughout a book. I love the thought of that, Rory. That is amazing. And if we can find the right way to do it, we can repurpose them into audio podcasts. So when we get the script down to text, we can then get that returned, and it might be different voices or try and recreate our voices, but we'll try and get that turned back into audio podcast because there are a lot of people who like audio over video. But because a lot of what we do is visual, we have used the video a lot. We prefer video. We like to show our face. And because we're trying to build businesses and we're trying to connect with people, we want to be seen as authentic. We want you to know we are real human beings. Although there will be some AI technology involved, we want you to know there are real human beings behind every single one of these conversations. And they are straight from the heart. We don't plan them. So this is why they're not on a audio podcast, because we don't script and plan them and read them according to the script. We just speak from the heart and you get what you get. This is raw. But that's what makes these conversations so powerful, because it proves that unlike reading some script that AI could have created, by speaking from the heart, we are proving that we know our topics. We know these subjects well enough to just talk about them with no planning. And that's what I absolutely love about this every week is I even surprise myself some of the things I talk about. And I'm pretty sure you do too.
Oh
It
yes.
just flows and it's beautiful when that happens. It really is. So,
Amazing. So, yes. It's really great to share. We're going to come back probably start of March with a book and a new podcast, volume two, and it's going to include um Sue as well in a whole new design of what the podcast will be. So uh
Yes. So
the
when
whole
we
point
restart, yeah.
yeah, the whole point being is that what we've done already is going to be a thing in itself. And it's not like we might need to continue it or not in its own way, but it will be just the the next evolution of that launched. So yeah, exciting.
We're going to package it. So it's like when you've created something this amazing and you go, let's package that up. That's essentially what we're doing. And then starting again with a new package that we're going to create going forward, which will include a Sue in a box. That's a joke between me and Sue, conversation we had about trying to work out who she is and what she does with her business. So we said, well, what would you do in your business if somebody went to a shelf and said, that's a box and I need a Sue in a box? So we're going to bring in Sue in the box along with us, and we'll put all this in a box, but in a nicely packaged way. So yeah, I love all this concept of doing this. It's really clever. It was a great idea, Rory, and I'm really looking forward to getting this done, as well as trying to write the next book. Actually, next 2 or 3 books I've got to write now. I've got several ideas. So yeah, I haven't finished yet, not by a long way. So as well as doing all my workshops. So that's really my year is going to be workshops and books and helping people and reaching out and being open to all kinds of possibilities, seeing where this goes. Yay.
Amazing, amazing, fantastic. Here we go.
Perfect.
So yeah, thanks for watching. And if there's anything you're looking forward to in 2026, I'd love to hear it. Speak it out, shout it out, and let us see. You know, I'm all about turning the scattered brilliance into visionary flow and finished projects for heart-centered neurodivergent creatives. So that in itself is important to remember. We're not supposed to do the solitary work just alone in terms of, or just, scattered, and or the collaborative work vaguely. It's all there. The solitary and the collaborative together become powerful. It's not. I think people often can get very confused about thinking that it's asking or getting help with specific things is almost like giving the power away to themselves, you know,
Mm.
or that they should be able to do it on their own. And there's this sort of creative side of things where the artist has been struggling all their lives to get their art out and be themselves, whereas what if it's a new paradigm where that gets to happen, but also we get to co-collaborate on creating that, and the elements of it are why struggle with some of those things that don't need to be done alone, and or make the make the things more efficient, make it all more efficient. So yeah, reach out to either of us about that.
Absolutely. And that is a really great point, Rory, about, that sense of I've got to do this on my own, I've got to be independent. But interdependence and collaboration is far more powerful. If it's a concept that you've not got familiar with yet, and you're still in that I need to do things alone or be independent mode, go and watch the episode that we did however many months ago on interdependence, because that was one of the most powerful lessons I taught my children as teenagers. Was it helps with not only collaboration, but gratitude and self-acceptance and so many other things it ties in with. So it's well worth going back and watching that on interdependence. And definitely we'll be doing a lot of that. For Rory and I, interdependence has been a huge part of running this podcast for a year with that collaboration, because you can't create something like this on your own the same. And a lot of YouTubers do far greater work by putting, they would say two heads are better than one. And that's essentially what we've done this year, put two heads together. And what grows from it is incredible. It's like having seed and having a soil. If you don't put them together, nothing happens. But the minute you put the seed and the soil together, magic happens. And, we can do that with the mind. We can do that with the soul. We can do that with our business visions. We can do that with our personal growth. And there's so much can happen when we start collaborating and putting things together with interdependence, and sharing more. And this is about the being open, not guarded, closed off. I've got to do it, man. But this is part of the being open. And one of the reasons it's been so powerful for me that I want to take that to next level as well. So yeah.
Next
Thank you, Rory. I've
level.
gone off on one again.
That's all right. Next level focus, laser
Yay.
focus.
Oh, wow. There's a new feature on your laptop. Cool. I can do that. And I get nothing apart from I look like an idiot doing that on mine. Now that's pretty cool. Laser focus. Oh, wow.
I don't know how to do that with hand gestures. I have to manually click that one. But yeah.
Okay. That was cool. Very cool.
But yeah,
All right.
let's go fanatical focus.
Yep. Fanatical
Or
focus and lots of positive emotions. Remember my emotional awareness workshops, Rory's planning and focus workshops and sessions. Get in touch with us. Be interdependent. You don't have to do this alone. And let's make 2026 absolutely awesome. And we will see you in a couple of months after we'll keep you updated in between, but we'll see you in a couple of months when we have repurposed year one. And a massive happy birthday to the High Leverage Actions podcast. Yay. This is what happens when you can afford an Apple Mac. I'm on Microsoft. Honestly, thank you. And we will see you all again in a couple of months. Bye
much love.
bye. Bye.